So if you don't know what an INFJ is, it's one of the idealist uh, temperaments in Myers-Briggs. It's intuitive and feeling. Intuitive is the perceiving function, and feeling is the judging function. So all intuitive feelers are called the idealists. So as a basic summary, I have just some notes on here. It's for INFJ. Typically, they focus on personal growth. They have a talent for foreseeing, and they get flashes of insight. They sustain a vision while honoring the gifts of others. They need a sense of purpose, and they take a creative approach to life. They explore issues to bridge differences and connect people and ideas. And they live an idealistic life, which presents stress and a need to withdraw. So we'll look at the functions right here. So the main functions for INFJ are introverted intuition first. Second, it's extroverted feeling. Third, it's introverted thinking. And fourth, it's extroverted sensing. So it's leading with keen foreseeing is what Dario Nardi calls it, which is focusing on a vision of the future, insights and realizations from the inner hidden world of the unconscious. So basically, introverted intuition is you get a vision of the future. You have very clearly, based on all the information that you're getting in, you have like a very clear picture of, oh, okay, aha, this is what it is. It's like an aha kind of thing. So you just get insights on and instincts on this. It's one of the two intuitive functions, and it's actually the most rare function. And not only that, is it the most rare function to have dominant. The INFJ is actually the most rare Myers-Briggs type. So actually, Jesus was an INFJ also, which is really interesting. So Jesus is representing the archetype of Christ, and Hitler is pretty much embodying the archetype of the Antichrist. But they're both INFJs, which is really interesting. So the second function is the support function, friendly hosting, as Dario Nardi calls it. And they tend to relationships, social norms, and people's needs and values as they organize and make thoughtful decisions. That's what FE is. His third function would be skillful sleuthing, which is introverted thinking. And he would struggle with this function because it's the third place one. So with introverted thinking, you analyze situations, solve problems, and apply leverage according to universal logical principles. And its fourth function is extroverted sensing, active adapting. It's the aspiration function. So it's what they aspire to be able to do. So for him, it would be enjoying the external world, using the five senses, and taking concrete actions based on options before them. So it's really plugged into the present moment, what you're experiencing in your five senses, so you can really engage in the moment with things. But that's his weakest of his four functions. But then there's he has four other functions that are completely in the shadow for him, that are not even operative really, that he has any kind of connection to. So these are the main four functions in his function stack: introverted intuition and extroverted feeling. So I'll get into some interesting parts of what Dario Nardi introduces in Decode Your Personality. He introduces that there's actually a yin style and a yang style of each function. So what I found for Adolf Hitler is that he actually has more of the yang style, which is also known as analytic. It's active, focused, fixed, outward, and top down. So this function, the yang version, is called visionary, NI. It sticks to a singular vision of the future to improve self and society. It's certain of a few compelling insights and applies complex concepts. It turns realizations into principles, and it acts as a guiding spirit. So that's introverted intuition, yang. And then the second function is called shepherd, for FE, for extroverted feeling. And I identify that he's yang for this as well. And it announces values, prescribes best behaviors, corrals and encourages outliers to join the group, and inspires as an orator. So that's pretty obvious for how, how Hitler uses FE, how he uses extroverted feeling. Is he's like super plugged into what the German people were feeling, because what happened was, they just finished with the First World War and they were just devastated with what happened, and everybody's spirits were low, and they just felt so much resentment and pain and anger, and Hitler basically monopolized on that feeling and could resonate and feel it in all the German people, and felt like that he needed to do something about it. So there's something about that he has this ability to really connect with people's emotions and move them through being an orator. So talking in front of people. And so that's basically what we see for his two functions is he gets insights for the future. He saw this early on, that he was, for himself, he saw, I'm going to be leading the people and I'm going to restore Germany, basically. And then he used his FE to connect with his audience and make an impact in that way. So that's his main two functions with the Yang style. So what's also interesting about Dario Nardi's book is he has the different subtypes, which are based on actual brain patterns. There's four different ones. There's the dominant, which is the one that I identified that Hitler has. Then there's also the creative, and there's a normalizing one, and forgetting the fourth one right now. Anyway, you can check out the book. I didn't memorize all of them. But anyway, I think it's supporting, but I can double check that later. But anyway, so the one that was pretty obvious was the dominant subtype for him, which is known as the bold educator. They're the more driven and more confident than the other INFJs. They're outspoken, daring, willing to ruffle feathers. They're eloquent, strong, thoughtful, and deeply attentive to values. They're quick in addressing situations and bringing in fresh ideas. They stay engaged with the world. They take chances. They like having an audience. They're typically advisors or educators, leaders, managers, and teachers. So that's definitely the case for Hitler, being a leader and a teacher. In a sense, he is kind of a teacher in what he presented, which is, I'll get into when we get into his Vedic Astrology and his Michael teachings. But yeah, so that's the dominant subtype for INFJ.